Okay, I think we're live. That was
Oh, are we?
weird. Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay,
It looks like everything is working this time. That was super weird.
there we
Sorry about
go.
that.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I look
Yes.
like much bigger than you, but I will pretend that we don't notice. So we can go on. No, it's fine. Yeah, we can do it like
It's,
that.
it's probably just weird camera angles or something like
I
that.
mean, I could maybe like do mine a little bit farther away so that I look smaller.
Yeah, and I can always move closer to the camera, although I don't think the people want that.
Yeah, this proportion actually looks better. Yeah, like now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty, so we all
Okay,
good?
we ready?
I'm ready whenever.
All right. Three, two, one. Welcome, everyone, to episode 15 of Football for Fun. I am Depressed, the Texans fan, and Hopkins, come to Houston. Come back. Come home.
Ain't no way. I'm delusional, the Panthers fan. He's coming to his true home in Carolina. You know what? He played for Clemson. He can come back to Carolina. Come to Charlotte. We have a place for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, y'all don't have very many receivers. So do we. Yeah, very not awkward start to our episode, but
Not at all. Not at
honestly,
all.
well, it's the off-season grind. So whether you're tuning in live or just, rewatching this, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been actually quite a while since we did one together. So we're just
Right.
going to come back. We've just sort of made a comeback, sort
Yes,
of.
I
And
apologize for that. I had to go suffer for a week. Had my wisdom teeth out, but I live. And then I thought I was going to be
very
out of town, and
nice.
then I wasn't. And then, yeah. So now we're back, and hopefully no more problems in the future. That means we're having a problem very soon. So brace for
Very
yourself. Brace
nice.
for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, little blooper, if I will. I think you put this to play for kids or something like that. So I don't think there's chat.
What? Wait, hold up, hold up.
There's
Hold.
no chat.
I know I didn't do that. Hold up. Is there really no chat?
Yeah.
Comments or okay? That's lovely. Let me
Yep.
see
Chat is
what I
disabled
can
for
do.
live stream. Not that we'll have anyone chat, but.
That kind of defeats the point, right? we need
True.
people to be able to chat.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not seeing any options to fix that in the streaming software. So that's fantastic.
That's
Doing
very
amazing.
fantastic. Yep.
So okay,
Just
we
like
can
that,
just
our viewership dropped from 3 to 1.
wow, we had 3? That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Probably you, me, and Ghost Celtic.
Has anyone said anything in Discord?
Ghost Celtic just said he can't see chat.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I think I may have
No
totally just messed up
worries.
the layout, or maybe I just got rid of your camera. Nice.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, I had to open Chrome on my left because I have everything else on my right, and I can't ruin that. And Zoom will be an
Yeah.
easy enough fix though. Okay, so I should be able to just go into our settings and change that. One would think. Please let this be simple. Please let this be simple. Made for kids. I didn't do that. I know I said it. No, it's not made for kids. Let me save that. And should be good to go. Says changes were made.
There's that chat we all love to see.
So we good?
Okay. We're good.
Oi! I don't know
Okay.
what. Having some issues today. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of rusty after like 2 or 3 weeks of being out. We're back. I'll just put it in the Discord.
It's not showing you on Zoom yet.
Oh,
Don't
it's
like
not.
that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It should probably show me.
Yeah, so that's weird.
Yeah.
Why is it not showing you? I opened Zoom again. This should not be an issue. We should not have these issues. What on earth? Okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. I had to like switch it to something else and then put it back on Zoom.
Gotcha.
So lame.
Indeed. Pretty
It still
lame.
tells me in the streaming software that chat is disabled for the live stream. So I can't
Well,
see
when
chat here.
well, when I refreshed it, like it's fine. I can see
Okay.
chat.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up again. Because I want to be able to see chat too.
That would
Without having
probably
to.
be
Yeah. Uh. Yeah, we're off to a fantastic start today. Only a couple
exactly.
of issues. This is
We're
what
on
happens when we
fire.
take a couple of weeks off. We have issues. Okay, pulled the chat up again. Yeah, we got it. Okay, so anyway, where were we before everything fell apart?
It's a great question. Hopkins coming home to Houston, definitely. Like
Carolina.
Carolina is home. Like
He played for Clemson in college, so he was in Carolina before he was in Houston. I don't actually know where he was for like high school and growing up and all that, but I know he played for
okay, so
Clemson.
he went to high school in South Carolina.
There we
So,
go. Come on home, Hopkins. Come on home to the Carolinas.
but he was first. His first paycheck came from the Houston Texans, or so we would assume that is.
Ain't no
So
way that's the first time he
um,
got paid.
who knows? I mean, he might have come from a poor family. I don't know. So come home, Hopkins.
Okay, I mean y'all kind of need him more to be fair, but no, we want him. We have more
I
money.
mean, you won't. I mean, we don't have Bill O'Brien. Like, you're not going to have that problem.
Well, by that
Okay.
logic, you can rule out the Patriots.
Yeah, true. Okay, so as it stands, well, I don't know why I started it with as it stands, like it's some official thing, but we're going to be doing a tier list. Not a tier list. Well, yeah, tier list, right?
Basically a tier list. So we got
What?
4 categories here for the front runners for in the DeAndre Hopkins sweepstakes. We got teams that might be in the running here. We'll put them in the maybe category. We got the unlikely teams who are going in the unlikely category. I know, crazy. And then we got the teams with
Yeah.
no shot who are going in the, guess for it, no shot category. Crazy, right? So we got 4 categories here,
Yeah.
and we can go put all the teams in based on how likely we think it is Hopkins is going there.
Yeah.
We got this.
Someone is claiming that chat is not working. That's, a falsehood.
It should be a falsehood. Should be working now. Try refreshing. If you're listening and struggling with the chat, try refreshing real quick. That worked for me, so maybe it'll work for you. And if you're not watching live and you're watching this after this is over, then I apologize, but
Yeah.
it happens.
Well, so be it. I mean, worst case scenario, we can use Discord as the chat, if we need to. All right. So do you want to get started? I guess what we can do is like you can like name the team that's up first, then we can sort of like discuss, debate if we need to, like where they would fall. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good to me. Hopefully some of these will be easy. I'm just gonna go off of what I know you and the viewers can see. It's in the middle of the screen for me. So we'll start
Okay.
let's start with the Chiefs because I feel like this is a pretty easy one.
Yeah. We're putting them front runners, right? Or that's what you were thinking?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, even if they
Yeah.
don't, even if you think they don't get him necessarily, like they got to be one of those teams you're thinking they got a shot at him, right? They got a good chance.
Yeah, they gotta be up there. And I was telling you before that we recorded, I don't predict him to go to the Chiefs, but I would think that like he would want to go to the Chiefs. Like there was this report like during the season, I think last year that like receiver, or I think it was during the offseason, my bad, that like receivers were calling Mahomes to like join his team, and you would naturally think that Hopkins maybe one of them. So I
right.
definitely see the Chiefs as the front runner. I wouldn't necessarily predict it to happen because I feel like the Chiefs, like, they didn't want to pay Tyreek Hill a lot of money, and like they seem to be doing good like with the core group that they have right now with like
Mm.
Kadarius Tony, MVS.
Yeah,
I
they
think they have
really believe in guys like
Watson.
Tony and Sky Moore and
Yeah.
the guy they drafted this offseason as well. So they're
So I
happy
feel
with their
like
receivers.
yeah, so they probably think that they can like develop their guys rather than pay someone like Hopkins. But if Hopkins willing to take a pay cut, then he's definitely up there in
Right.
for the Chiefs.
That's a big factor in the sweepstakes here. Like some teams with more money are going to have seemingly more advantages if that's what Hopkins is going for. I don't think he's going to take the best deal available, unlike,
Yeah.
OBJ did. I think
Mhm.
more likely is he's going to have some kind of balance. Like which team is going to give me a shot to win a ring and which team is also going to pay me what I deserve, you know?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a balance. Like, because my prediction would be like it's going to be some like mid to like good team, to where maybe they're not like prime Super Bowl contenders, but if things fall in the right place, they could. Like he's not going to go somewhere where he has no shot to win a Super Bowl, like the Texans or like I don't know, back to the Cardinals. I don't know, like somewhere like that. But
Now imagine
um,
Arizona cut him and then just signs him again.
yeah, that
That'd be
would be
s-
funny.
it'd be kind of lame, but also kind of funny.
It would be. I mean, well, for Hopkins to like come back. Um, yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll put the Chiefs in like front runner. They seem to be pretty logical. So
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs still need like a true number one receiver. Even if you believe in the other guys, it makes a lot of sense to add a guy like Hopkins, you know?
yeah, that's true. I mean, he's
Mhm.
experienced. He's a veteran. It would make
He
a
won't
lot of
even
sense.
be the top option there. You still have Travis Kelsey.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true.
All right, let's move on to another intriguing option in the Jaguars. We've heard I've
Okay.
seen some people ship that, Hopkins to Jacksonville, signed with the division rival of the Texans, go play for Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence. It's kind of tempting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now I will admit I go into this exercise not knowing anything about teams' cap situations. So
Same for the most part.
cap cap notwithstanding, I actually really like this. That actually would be one of my top predictions if I had to be completely honest. Like I could just see it. Like, former division rival, you have like Trevor Lawrence, you can pair up with Calvin Ridley and Zay Jones and
Christian Kirk.
Evan Ingram's there, right? Or is he in
Yeah, Evan
Giants?
Ingram, I think he got the
Okay.
franchise tag, so he's got another
Yeah.
season there.
I get Jaguars and Giants mixed up. Like, was he on the Jaguars and then went to the Giants or vice versa? But
Yeah, he
anyway,
was on the Giants. He's in Jacksonville now.
okay. Yeah. Of course he was on the Giants.
Of course.
Yeah. So I actually see that as making a lot of sense. If I were doing this, I would probably put that in front runner as well. But honestly, if you wanted to put in maybe, I'd also be like, I'd also be fine with that. But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think for Hopkins, Jacksonville would make a lot of sense to go team up with Trevor Lawrence, go to probably the what would be a free playoff spot in Jacksonville in the AFC South, if we're being
Mhm.
totally honest.
Yeah.
My thing is, does Jacksonville even need him? Because they traded for Calvin Ridley. They already had a pretty nice duo last season with Christian Kirk and Zay Jones, and then they got Evan Ingram at tight end. They've even got Travis Etienne. He can catch the ball. So if they're gonna have to pay up for Hopkins, even just not like top dollar on the market or anything, but more than someone else would have to pay, or just whatever he wants. I don't know that I'm gonna make that move when you have more pressing needs, like on the offensive line. So if I'm Jacksonville building long term, I would rather keep that money, go into the season with the current receiving room, and then invest that money in the future and get offensive linemen for Trevor.
Yeah. If I could play devil's advocate with that, and that makes sense. I mean, the logic makes sense, and I do think that if Jacksonville's a smart team, it might not happen. As you say that they're set. Like we assume that they're set at receiver. Well, why not have a trio like the Bengals have with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd?
I would argue they already have that with Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones. Like Zay Jones was
Calvin
basically
Kirk.
same numbers as
Calvin Ridley. Who? Christian Kirk.
Christian
Oh,
Kirk
they
was
do.
like 1,100 yards last
Oh,
season.
they have Christian Kirk. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
and Evan
Oh,
Ingram is still there too. Like they already got four good weapons who could all reasonably reach 1,000 yards.
No, that changes everything for me because I went into this forgetting that, like, I mean, okay, I could still see it happening because, like, okay, Christian Kirk, is he all that good? Like, I mean, he's like,
1,100 yards last season, man. As the number one.
how many
That was
touchdowns?
pretty good.
I see. Okay, 8 touchdowns. That's respectable. Yeah, because my thing is about the Jags receiving room is, I was looking at Zay Jones' stats. He did all right. I think it was like 800 yards and maybe an amount of touchdowns, but we don't know
So
about
around
Calvin.
what Tyler Boyd would get.
So that's my thing. We don't know about Calvin Ridley. Like,
Right.
he's been out of football for like a year and a half. Like, I think we assume that he's good. He's gonna be good, and he probably will be, but maybe he won't
Either way,
be.
though, they've like already committed to him by trading for him and whatever they're paying him too.
So where would you put the Jaguars in this tier list?
I mean, I think it depends if Hopkins wants to go there. Like, if this is a destination for him that he has in mind, I would give it a maybe. If not, then I would give it an unlikely.
Yeah. I
Like,
feel
I don't think
like
Jacksonville is going to go out of their way to get him, if you know what I
okay,
mean.
let me ask you this. Is Hopkins wide receiver, like clear wide receiver one in Jacksonville?
I think he's still better than Christian Kirk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. He's number. I think. Oh, that's tough. So Hopkins or Calvin Ridley.
I
Yeah,
would
I wouldn't
I'd
say
take
clear number one. I
Hopkins.
feel like that's like 1A, 1B, you know?
Calvin really hasn't played football for a year and a half.
I mean, I'm still buying into that he's going to be a 1,000 yard receiver again. He might not
Okay,
be
I'll
like
believe
top
it.
10 or anything.
No, that's fine. I'll believe it when I see it. I just wouldn't necessarily count on Calvin Ridley being some superstar.
Mm,
So I think like Hopkins, because I mean, I think Hopkins would probably be receiver one in Jacksonville. And if that's the case, then he might have an incentive to go to Jacksonville. But then, of course, the question is, does Jacksonville need him? Which is probably not. So I'm fine if we put it at maybe, like a very tentative maybe if you want, unless you have a
yeah.
strong objection to that.
No, that's cool with me. That's where I was kind of thinking at first. It's a maybe. It just
Yeah.
depends on what both sides want. So
Yeah, that's
totally
true.
possible. Totally possible. But
Yeah. And if that happens, then like that's gonna be some receiving room. Like
that would
they
be
could do a bunch of
insane.
rotations and like yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And assuming Ridley doesn't do any more gambling.
Yeah, or assuming he hasn't and
Okay.
isn't gonna get caught. I'm
Next
sure
thing,
there's lots
Jameson
of that
Williams
going
gets
on in
traded to
secret.
Jacksonville. What's that?
Yeah,
Huh?
both talking at the same time. We are so good at this,
Exactly.
professionals.
I was saying, next thing you know, Jameson Williams traded to Jacksonville.
Oh yes, 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 yes. We need that to happen just for the memes,
Exactly.
for the memes alone.
And then watch that. And then Ridley, Williams, and Hopkins for PEDs all get suspended. Like their whole receiver room gets suspended.
I wouldn't even be surprised at this point.
Okay. Okay, who's the next team that we're gonna dissect their chances of
Let's
getting Hopkins?
let's go with Miami here. Miami
Ooh,
Dolphins chances of getting Hopkins. I'm putting that at unlikely.
I would agree with that. I mean, they're set at receiver. Like they have Hill, they have Waddle, they have like some other receiver. I feel like I don't remember the name,
I don't
but
remember either, but those two are both like top 10 receivers as it is.
just seems like they would only bring him in to have one of the all time best like receiving rooms, and like they really
That's
think
the
Tua needs
best
to help
trio of
him.
receivers, maybe even ever at all.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, for that I'd probably like, and again with a team like the Dolphins, just like the Jags, like they probably have like more pressing needs, than like
Right.
another top receiver. They could use that money elsewhere on like, I don't know, the defense, the O line, or something like that. So yeah, that seems pretty unlikely to me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. So we can leave Miami in
Yeah.
unlikely and move on to the Vikings. I think they're
Ooh.
also unlikely because they should be set at receiver. They got the best in the game in Justin Jefferson. They drafted Jordan Addison to replace Adam Thielen, and they have KJ Osborne, who's a pretty good underrated wide receiver 3. So it's
Yeah,
possible, but I would say it's unlikely.
I'd probably say that's unlikely as well. Yeah. I mean, I mean, with Hopkins, like you could just put him on like any already stacked receiving room, and you're like, oh my god, that would be such a stacked receiving room. But like, is it the wisest thing to do? Probably not. So
Not when you're
like,
paying him for it. No.
yeah, and it's not like he's coming for free. And like,
Right.
yeah, and like, I mean, would Hopkins take a pay cut to go to Minnesota? Like, I don't
To
think
play for
so.
Kirk Cousins?
And like,
I mean,
I like Minnesota. We've discussed this on the show, but like,
right.
are they gonna win a
Minnesota's
Super Bowl?
good.
They're not. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. So
Not realistically. No.
like, yeah.
All right. How about the New York Giants? So you want to go play with Danny Dimes?
I could see that if they have the cap space. If they have the cap space, because he'd be clear number one. Giants
Right.
have that need, and Brian Daboll is a proven. Well, okay, proven might be strong, but for a year he's been a proven head coach.
He's projected
so,
to be a really fantastic coach.
Yeah, it's like I feel like Hopkins would have incentive to go if they're willing to pay him. That is.
Right. I think that's going to be the biggest factor if they're going to pay him, because I don't think he's going to look at the Giants and see Danny Dimes and go, yep, I'm getting a ring here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but then you can also think about like, maybe you don't trust the quarterback necessarily, but do you trust the scheme, like the running game and like, just the Brian Daboll like magic, I don't know. Like, I mean, you never know. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl, but for every Nick Foles there's like, I don't know, the Nick Foles that just got cut. I don't know. So like,
Right. That's such a rare story.
in theory, I want to say they're front runners, but honestly, that might be a little bit of a stretch. Especially, I don't know if there are like any actual like rumors other than like it just seems to make sense. So
Yeah. Yeah, I would put them in maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. They're a maybe. It just depends on what Hopkins wants the most, really. Like, if he's gonna chase rings, I don't see him going to the Giants. If he wants money, if he wants to be clear number one receiver, Giants make a lot of sense. And then suddenly people are gonna hype up the Giants.
I mean, as I've said earlier, maybe I've said in some chat or something like that. I mean, if Hopkins really wants to go ring chasing, he'd play for the Chiefs for free. Like,
right.
I think like they're gonna
like
balance
1 year
it
deal
out.
for free, right?
And it's not like if you're going to the Giants, it's not like you're going to the Texans. Like the Giants could they could win a Super Bowl. Like point blank end of story. Like they could.
Yeah, I technically, I guess.
Last year, the Eagles were, they were all right. We had questions about Jalen Hurts. We had questions about Nick Sirianni, and here they are.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but like, okay, if you buy into Danny Dimes leading the team to a Super Bowl, then you go for it, I guess. Like, I'm never gonna buy into that. Like, I'll need to see that. I'll need to see that, and I'll need to see him putting up elite numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who's the next team that we're gonna dissect?
Oh, this one is super tough. The Arizona Cardinals, front runners, right?
Oh, wait. So I forget, who was he released from again? Who just cut him?
Oh, geez, I can't remember. Who would be silly enough to
It was
cut
the
him?
Texans like a few years ago, but then who did we trade him to? Like it was. I feel like it started with a C. It wasn't the Commanders. It wasn't the Cowboys. Certainly.
I feel like it was a bird team.
Okay, bird. So Falcons, Ravens,
Eagles,
Seahawks, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Didn't
I think
he,
it
like-
was close to Seattle.
Didn't he play with like a short quarterback?
I think he did. Like the shortest quarterback in the
So
league.
it could have been Russell Wilson, but I don't know if it was the Seahawks.
I don't know, man. That doesn't feel right.
I mean, Kyler Murray's short, but who did he play for again? So he plays for some team on Call of Duty, I think, right?
Right. He's not even a real quarterback.
Exactly. He's a gamer. Okay.
Okay, the Arizona Cardinals, no shot.
Okay, no, I think you can make a case for the Cardinals. They're depleted at receiver. They have a, rising star quarterback in Kyler Murray. They have a new head coach who's going to
I'm actually going to disagree with the depleted at receiver argument, just to be clear there. Otherwise, yeah, no.
So who's their wide receiver one? Hollywood Brown?
Yeah, Hollywood is so underrated in my opinion,
Who's
and I
number
think
2?
Rondell Moore is also extremely underrated.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but in today's league, they're depleted. They may not be the most depleted, but the Bengals
Yeah,
have a stacked receiving room. Dolphins, Jags, it's pretty. It's not bad, but it's pretty. Okay, next team.
yeah. Next team. Let's go with the Falcons.
It's kind of like the Giants, to where it sounds good in theory, but do you want to play with Desmond Ritter?
Nobody wants to play with Desmond Ritter.
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, okay, they could use another receiver, but also this is a run heavy team. They got like 3 running backs who could start. I don't know. I would say it's unlikely, but also I'm biased because I hate the Falcons. But I don't know. You tell me.
See, I could really see that happening if they're willing to pay him. I would say, like, because also, I guess if you're thinking about it, maybe is like, it could mean a lot of things. So, like, in theory, like, you probably could put most of the teams at, like, maybe, because, like, you just never know unless they're, like, strong rumors or something like that. I would probably put them in the exact same category as the Giants, though I like Daniel Jones better than Desmond Ritter, but I like the Falcons team better than the Giants team, like the roster better. So,
Oh, really? You're coming around on that?
yeah, I mean, I've thought about it.
All right, sweet.
Okay, wasn't
sweet.
that for like some not putting the Bucks in last place? Like, I'm not gonna be that stubborn. Like,
All right,
I'm
cool,
not gonna
cool, cool.
I'm not gonna stand on my ground that the Falcons roster sucks just so that I can not put the Buccaneers out.
I
Like,
mean,
no, they have like,
okay, I'm glad to hear that.
I mean, yeah, they have Kyle Pitts. They have like some players
Drake
on
London.
defense. They have. I mean, we're assuming that B. John Robinson is gonna be good, which is probably the case. Yeah, Drake London. Don't they? I guess
Tyler
they have Kyle Pitts.
Eligier.
Isn't he basically getting kicked to the curb? Like,
Nah, I think they're gonna have more of like
next.
a back-to-back duo.
I mean, yeah, that's probably realistically the case. Yeah. So I'd probably just put them in maybes, like a similar. Like, I would not be shocked if he goes to either the Giants or the Falcons. However,
I hope he doesn't go to Atlanta. I'm gonna be sad if he does. Like, give them the division then.
No quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. How about the Jets?
Yeah.
I think the GM has already come out and said that he's happy with his receivers. They're not going to pursue Hopkins, but we all know words don't mean anything in this league.
To be fair, I think, and maybe this is out of context, it was before, I think someone from the Chiefs, like either GM or coach, said that they see Kadarius Toney as their wide receiver 1. So I would take those comments with a grain of salt.
Right now he is their wide receiver 1, to be fair.
Well, he's not going to be if they sign Hopkins.
True that. Which is
they
why
can
they
change
should
that.
sign Hopkins.
So who do the Jets have? They have
they got a lot of receivers. Oh, no, they traded Elijah Moore to the they traded Elijah Moore to the Browns. They got Alan Lazard and they got Mecole Hardman and they got Garrett Wilson.
Isn't that kind of a meh receiving room?
Depends on your view of Garrett Wilson, because I think he could easily shoot up to like 1,400 yards this season based on his rookie season.
Well,
Lazard is a good slot receiver and good in the running game. Mecole Hardman is a good gadget weapon.
I feel like Lazard is overrated. I don't know why, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers just carried him, which I guess he's still playing with Aaron Rodgers, so he'll continue that narrative. But I feel like, well, here's the thing: at some point, we need to put teams in front runner rather than like, all these maybes. I feel like,
we'll talk about Buffalo next.
Okay, because I feel like the Jets. Now, I'm gonna say this, that I feel like the Jets could make Aaron Rodgers happy, unlike Green Bay did, but they didn't draft a receiver in round 1. However,
Right.
maybe they just didn't see the need either. So, like, I see it as like, how likely do I see it is the question.
I feel
I
like
like
they're
them as
in
a
between
front
maybe
runner.
and they're in between. Oops, I totally just screwed up the layout. Hold up. so amazing at this today. Okay. Whatever. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, as you were saying.
Oh, I feel like that I would put him in front runner, but not like a top front runner. Like I feel like it's stronger than maybe. Again, with the condition,
I would rest him in maybe.
Assuming they have the cap space.
Right. Do they have the cap space, though? I feel like they've spent a good amount of money.
How do you look that up? New York.
You could probably just look it up. Jets cap space or something like that.
Yeah. They have 24 mil apparently.
Oh, and, like, okay, that's actually decent.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah. For
like how do they have the money?
They don't have like a lot of like. I don't think they're paying a lot of players like fortunes besides Aaron Rodgers. Or
Not yet.
Are they even paying? They're not paying Aaron Rodgers, right? Or
no, they're paying him this year, but I don't think they're committed to anything beyond this season. And there might be like incentives and stuff.
Professional like football like podcaster.
Yeah,
definitely
same.
know my stuff.
We're doing amazing.
They're not like I just don't think they have like a lot like, you know, I don't know, the Dolphins, they're paying Tyreek Hill, for instance, they're paying like probably other people, but yeah, I think they have the cap space. I think the question is, are they gonna do it? I mean, like, I could see it, you know, because I would put them. See, that's why I say I would put them in front runner, but not like in the front of front runner. Like, I would just put them like. I just think it's stronger than maybe.
I don't know.
It's not like they have some stacked receiving room.
I really like their receiving room just because of Garrett Wilson.
So is Garrett Wilson Justin Jefferson 2.0? Is he Stephon Diggs?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like they got a good receiver there.
Yeah, but they could make him a really good wide receiver. 1, 2, depending on if you would put him ahead of Hopkins.
That's tough. That's tough.
Okay,
That's tough.
It's your call. Since I think I made the last tiebreak, you can have the call.
Okay. In that case,
I think I
I'll
decided
put them...
Falcons was maybe or something like that.
Yeah, I'll put them in maybe. I'm not buying into that, but it's possible. It's possible.
See, half the league's going to be in maybe. That's like what I'm concerned about.
We'll even it out. We'll get to some teams that definitely aren't going to go after him. For now, we'll go with Buffalo. They're a front runner, right?
I still can't believe you don't like eggs.
Yeah, eggs are gross.
Okay. Okay, I mean, I actually I respect that. Like, I like them, but I could see you like how you don't like I'm
weird. Okay.
What? Okay.
I don't know. What look?
You gave me a look. You're like.
I mean, I give people looks all the time, just unintentionally. Sorry about that.
Well, sometimes like I'll say something, you just awkwardly stare. Like.
Oh well, that's just me being awkward. I can't help that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Bills,
yeah, they're front runners.
I mean, don't they also have a good receiving room?
They got Stephon Diggs and they got Gabe Davis, who most people seem to think is not really that good. More of a wide receiver 3 is what people say.
They have Isaiah McKenzie, right? Or did he go somewhere?
No, he walked.
Where did he
I don't know where he went, but he left.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why not Steelers? He is on the Colts. Lovely.
That's odd.
Well,
they definitely could use Hopkins.
If
that
you
would
want
be
to
a
put
pretty good
front runners,
trio.
that's fine. But you know, I just see it as similar to the Jets. Like, you know. What if we just put them both in front runners?
Put Buffalo and the Jets in front runners?
Yeah. Just call it
we'll do that. 3 front runners. Okay. Fine. Let's go to a team that is certainly not picking him up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, that would be a dangerous receiving room. You gotta admit.
Yeah, I'm giving it no shot though. They're definitely tanking.
Yeah,
have you seen some of the footage from like their off-season camps and whatnot?
I
It's
have,
great.
but I also know that stuff can get taken out of context. Like they probably put out the worst like practice footage out there, so I just take that with a grain of salt. But yes, I did see it, and yes, it does look pretty bad.
I don't know. I'm loving it.
All this and Tom Brady's gonna come descending
No,
and save the Buccaneers.
no, don't. Just don't. He's gonna play for the Raiders. Remember? That's what the people say. At one point, at somewhere, he had like the highest odds to come back and be quarterback for the Raiders ahead of anyone else, just because of the Jimmy G drama that's going on.
What, like a day ago for like 24 seconds? Like that's not
I don't know how
happening.
long it was. I'm just saying, at one point, someone decided he was the favorite. He's not. He's
That's
not coming
fine.
back. I'm. Nobody should buy into that.
Yeah.
Anywho, how about the Commanders? I'm gonna give them either no shot or unlikely. I'll let you decide between that.
Um yeah. I wouldn't say no shot, but I would say it's probably pretty unlikely. So we can say that.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go play for Sam Howell, and he's not gonna go play for the most dysfunctional team in the league aside from Cleveland.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So we're saying
Sure.
unlikely or no shot.
I'd just say unlikely.
Okay. Okay. What about Seattle? I'm gonna say either unlikely or no shot for them as well, just because they've already got a stacked trio.
You pick this one.
I picked this
But
one.
yeah, it seems very unlikely, I
Man, if we're
guess.
putting Washington in unlikely, I'm putting Seattle there too.
That's fine. I
All
mean,
right.
Washington could pay him and maybe Seattle doesn't. Like, you never know.
That's true. That's true. If they got the money, they could. Maybe
Yeah,
Rivera's gonna get desperate.
right.
Okay, and how about Chicago? They already got a Hall of Fame receiver, so I can't see that
I
happening.
know he's just gonna take all the receptions. Like every time the ball gets thrown, he's just gonna catch it. Maybe on the
Exactly.
other side of the field, he'll just run up and get it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what would happen. So no sense in going to Chicago for Hopkins. They got the greatest receiver in the game, DJ Moore. Let's put
I
Chicago
know.
in no shot to get Hopkins, even though I think they have the most cap space right now, or close to that. So technically, if
Yeah.
they want him, they could probably
Okay.
go get him.
So if we're not memeing, I actually really like that. Like, I really like the chances of that happening
Really?
because, yeah,
Because of the money or what?
because of the money. And I also know that they're like dead set on helping Justin Fields, like, get weapons with like that DJ Moore trade. Like, they were like, we must have DJ Moore or else.
I would have said the receiver room is kind of set right now, because they got Moore, they got Darnell Mooney, and they got, like him or not, they got Chase Claypool, and he can be a good wide receiver 3. Nah,
No.
Cole Kmet
Okay,
at tight
fine.
end.
Tight end. Why are we putting tight end in the like? Is
Because
Hopkins playing tight end? Like,
they take catches away. All right, like that
well, I
factors in
mean,
too. They're part of the passing game.
Hopkins doesn't play tight end, then like I don't really think we need to consider that.
Okay, well, for the Chiefs, imagine that Travis Kelce isn't there. Are they not immediately going out to get DeAndre Hopkins?
I don't know. They could just make their own Travis Kelsey.
Okay.
Like, don't they have
Chicago,
like they have? Okay, I see it as pretty likely. I mean, you could argue if it's like maybe or front runners, but
we'll put him in maybe.
okay. Okay, is it just me? It seems like an awkward transition to go from like front runners to maybe, but honestly, that's in the past.
Well, front runners are just like the
Well,
teams
front
we think
runners are
have
like
the.
teams we think we are going to be up there, and then maybe's like, eh. It's like, oh, I feel really good about this. Then, eh.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I feel like that's kind of fair so far. I wouldn't have said any of these 4 teams and maybe have like a really good shot at getting Hopkins.
see, I probably would have put like two of them. But that's life. Who's the next team?
Let's go with Baltimore.
They invested in OBJ. I don't see them making two receiver moves in an
So
offseason, like two big
unlikely.
receiving. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Unlikely, for sure. Let's go with Denver. Do they even have the money to pay him?
Really not.
I
mean,
don't think they can get him even if they
they
both want
mortgaged their
that to
future
happen.
into Russell Wilson. Like, I mean, in theory, I like it because they kind of like. I know you're about to say they have a good receiving room. Like who?
No, no,
Jerry
I actually
Judy?
don't like the receiving room right now. So
Yeah. So like in theory, I like the fit. I just don't think it'll happen because of the Russell Wilson debacle.
right, and also the money. I would put them in unlikely for now.
Yeah, I'd probably do that too.
All right. Okay, and what about Cleveland? I've been hearing a lot about that, and I think that actually makes a lot of sense the
I
more
like
people
them
are
as a
talking
front
about it.
runner. I like them as
Okay,
a front runner.
I can get behind that for sure. I'm
Yeah.
Their
Now,
receiving
will
room
it
would be
actually
so good.
happen? I don't necessarily know. And like, I know, like, I've heard some people, they're like, would he want to play with Deshaun? Like, I think he would,
Hey,
even
that's
if,
the
like,
one good quarterback he's ever played with. Of course, you wouldn't mind it.
that's true. Yeah. And, like, yeah. I mean, I was going to say, like, Watson hasn't done the greatest things, but so has Hopkins. Like, I don't think either of them are, like, on, some great moral compass. So, like,
Right. I
if
don't
you
know
know
how
what I'm
much of a
talking.
factor that's going to be for him. Right.
Yeah. So like I think like I feel like it's likely. And I feel like, the Cleveland Browns, like now I feel like if they're smart, they maybe wouldn't do it. They probably just like, not have that drama and maybe just allocate their resources in other places. But it's the
Right.
Cleveland Browns. They paid Deshaun like 230, whatever the heck million.
Right.
So like,
230 million guaranteed.
I guess that does beg the question, do they have the cap space? I mean,
I think they
I'll just
do. I've been hearing a lot
well,
about the Hopkins to Cleveland rumors, so I would assume they have the cap
yeah.
space, at least
So,
short term.
or they could like manage it. Yeah.
Yeah, restructure some contracts or whatever. I think someone actually said that Deshaun saved them some money and did something with his contract. So I think they actually do have enough money if they want Hopkins.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Cleveland is definitely a contender to get Hopkins if they want him and if he wants to play for them.
I would agree with that.
All right, cool. Let's go with the Titans. And you know my view on the Titans, so I would say they got no shot here, but what do you think?
Um, I mean, I could see it happening. Now, do I think it'll happen? No. If you want to put them in no shot, that's fine. But I see them as more likely than like other teams.
Yeah, I don't think they're the least likely because they're not like blatantly tanking like Tampa or Arizona.
Yeah.
But also, if you're Hopkins, there's no way you look at that quarterback situation and go, "Yep, that's a good place to go," unless they're gonna pay you more than anyone else is gonna pay you.
And if they
Even
pay
then,
more than anyone else is going to pay,
if they're gonna do that, then I could see it. Yeah. So if they have the cap
yeah.
space to do that, then they at least have a shot.
I mean, I like them as a strong and likely, but I could also see it happening.
Yeah, I guess it just
Like,
depends.
I just think like, the Titans aren't going to be some two-win team. Like they're going to be competitive, whether you like it or not.
Mm, I mean, if they do nothing but give Derrick Henry the ball, then okay, they can steal a few wins.
They were doing fine before Ryan Tannehill got hurt. Once Tannehill got
Right.
hurt, it was all like, and that's assuming he stays healthy. And like,
Hmm.
honestly, isn't like, shouldn't we assume that Will Levis will be an upgrade from Malik Willis?
No.
Wasn't
Why
Malik
would
like
we?
terrible?
Why?
Malik was terrible.
Okay,
He
Malik was
played.
terrible, but we also all knew he was going to be a project quarterback in his defense. But yeah, he
So
was
then why did they
terrible
draft him?
because he was a project quarterback. He wasn't supposed to play last season.
Okay, so if you were like coaching the Titans, you would put like okay, wherever you put Tannehill, wherever you would put Malik Willis ahead of the depth chart over Will Levis.
I don't actually know. It depends on the progress he's made like over the offseason and knowing the playbook. Right now, I would have him over Levis just because he's been there and knows the playbook. You know,
Well, what if the offseason has passed and like Will Levis has learned the playbook just based on like playing ability?
based on playing ability, Will Levis is the
Yeah.
more like skilled athlete. So I would hope for his sake that he's the better quarterback.
That's kind of exactly my point. Like, yes, Malik Willis like knows the playbook better, but like But Davis Mills knows the playbook better than CJ Stroud. Like, shouldn't he, like...
I mean, that's different because it's the second overall pick, you know? Will Levis, second round pick.
Yeah. Like, high second round pick. Like, to where it's basically a first.
Malik was a high third round pick, wasn't he?
Was he high? Okay, whatever. Well, that's
I don't know.
big
I don't know if
difference.
it was high. I don't know. I might be wrong on that.
All that to say, I believe the Titans are going to be competitive. They're not some like 0-17 team or 1-win team. Like, they're going to be competitive. It might be ugly, but they'll be competitive.
Okay, so as for their chances of getting Hopkins, would we say unlikely?
I mean, you can say unlikely or no shot. That's fine. I mean, whatever. But
I mean, I'm all in for unlikely. What were you thinking?
I think unlikely as well.
Oh, then why did we have that whole talk?
Because you think it's like no shot, and I wanted to convince you otherwise.
No. I said they had a shot if they got money. If they got money, they got a shot.
We can replay it. You were like, well, I think of Hopkins. It's no shot. What do you think?
I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did.
I also know at some point I said if they got money, but I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the next team.
Yeah.
For the sake of
that
time.
Sounds good.
How about the Lions? You also know my views on the Lions.
I know your view on the Lions, but do I know on your views of their chances at getting Hopkins?
I think they got a good shot. Like, they got the money, they got an explosive offense, and, I mean, in the NFC, that's the weaker conference. He's more likely to go to the Super Bowl there. So, if I'm Hopkins, we got 4 AFC teams up here in front runners. If my goal is to win a ring, I'm not going to the AFC unless it's the Chiefs. I feel like we got to get an NFC team up there.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't really like... I mean, I could see it, but like, I feel like you could also make the argument we've made for a lot of teams, which is that they should, in theory, already be set at receiver. Like, they have... I guess Jameson is suspended, but they have...
Well, it also depends on, like, how much are you going to trust Jameson to be a wide receiver, too?
I mean, that's honestly the argument you can make with, like, all the receiver rooms, besides, like, the Bengals, to where we know what they are. Like,
maybe not all of them, because Jameson is unproven so far. Like, he only played a couple games last season and was limited.
I mean, it's like, for example, like, the Jets. The Jets have Mecole Hardman, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, he's unproven in that offense.
This is true.
So, like, yeah. I mean, I won't, like,
he's still proven. He's still proven in the NFL, but I see what you mean.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I would still put them in maybe.
That's fine. Oh, Lions and maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I feel like that's totally fair to put them in maybe. I don't think they're about to go after him. They have other needs. Is the argument I was going to make. I like that. They have other needs. They don't need to throw money at Hopkins.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got that one over with. What about... I'm saving our teams for last, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed.
Very fun.
Right. So let's go with Dallas next. What about Dallas?
Ooh.
I could totally see him wanting to play for Dallas. I'll use my NFC argument again. Or NFC?
Yeah. And I can see Jerry Jones being like, let's get D-Hop on the team ASAP. See you in practice.
Exactly. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense if they have the money, and why not?
Yeah. I feel like the Cowboys are also, like, somewhat depleted at receiver. Like, they have CD.
That's what I was just thinking about.
They have Gallup.
They got Cooks. They got Brandon Cooks.
Oh, okay. Well, that's true. Yeah, Brandon, he is kind of, like, old. You just don't know. I'd still say they're probably kind of depleted. Like, maybe their top 2 to 3 receivers aren't bad, but I feel like below that, it's, like, questionable.
Right. And Gallup is, like, constantly injured, so you don't even have a reliable wide receiver 3 there. And I don't know about Cooks, honestly.
Yeah. I like the fit. They could be front runners. I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that we haven't heard much about that.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like I just don't think it's gonna happen, but I also feel like it makes sense.
Yeah, like it kind of does. Like I would actually I haven't thought about that before now, that Dallas being a contender. I could totally get behind that. So contender, front runner.
Yeah, that's good with me.
All right, I like it. I like it. That works.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the other side of the NFL. Go to the AFC for the Colts. You gotta tell me about that one. Your main
Uh,
rival, right?
I
Or one of
mean,
your main
why
rivals.
go there? Is he gonna? Well, he's not playing with a rookie apparently, so no.
Well, if we're using that argument, we got a lot of teams to rule out.
Like who?
Any team with a rookie.
I mean, they're only the Texans and Panthers and Titans are starting a rookie, maybe, right? Or like,
In that case, let's move the Titans down to no shot.
no, never mind. They're starting Tannehill. I was thinking of
Yeah,
someone else.
I
But
wasn't gonna
only
tell
the
you that.
Panthers. It's only the Panthers, Texans, and Colts really starting rookies.
Do we consider Desmond Ridder and Sam Howell to be on that same level too, simply because they were late round picks and they didn't play a ton last season?
Um, so I think like rookie. Maybe you could also consider Jordan Love for that matter.
True. I think he has less experience than
I
Desmond
mean,
and Sam.
I feel like if he well, they're not rookies, Now they don't have the playing experience, but they're not rookies. I feel like if Hopkins really wanted to make his point technical, he'd be like, I'm not playing with super young quarterbacks or something like that. Because I do think there's something to be said. Like if you're thinking about a team, there's a quarterback now Trey Lance, for example, he hasn't played a lot, but he does have NFL experience. He's been through training camps, he's played some games, so you know, you could say easily on paper that they're basically rookies, but they're not.
Yeah, I mean they're not literally rookies because they have the experience in the league, whether on the field or on the sideline. But if you also look at the skill level, just based on what you would expect, are you going to tell me some of these guys are going to be better than our rookie quarterbacks? You'd definitely rather have C.J. Stroud than someone like Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, I mean, well, you never know. You never know. C.J. Stroud could be a complete bust.
Right. We're
say
still
that
playing with
here.
unknowns here.
I mean, my point is that Hopkins said, "I'm not playing with rookies," so I'm
Right.
just taking his.
Well, did he say?
that.
Did he say rookies? I thought he said young quarterbacks.
I think he said rookies.
I thought he said I'm past the point of playing with young quarterbacks. I don't know.
I mean,
though.
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he specified rookie.
Okay, that's interesting then. So we can roll out our teams.
Yeah,
Except that we are biased, so we're not going to do that.
exactly. No, we can for Panthers. We can pretend that they're. I mean, he could
I'm
change his
delusional.
mind. As I said, I take his actions much more seriously than his words, so you
Exactly.
never really know. But
You can't trust anything that is said in today's league.
if somehow I don't know. I was gonna say if somehow the 49ers, but I don't even know if he'd want to go to the 40 or if it would make sense. But if the 49ers were starting some rookie, then he might be inclined to go there. I just don't necessarily take his word that seriously.
Right. It depends on the money. It depends on the team's Super Bowl chances within the
Yeah.
next couple of seasons.
So okay,
So
so
back to
what's
the Colts.
discussion? Oh, Colt.
We're
No
talking
shot,
about the
no
Colts.
shot.
I don't know how we got so lost.
Okay, no shot. Next team.
No shot. Okay. Next
is there an
team.
argument
Let's
you
go
wanna
with
make?
the. Huh?
Is there
Oh
an
no, I
argument
don't
here?
have an argument. No.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I think the Colts are going to be one of the worst next season, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Packers. What about the Packers? Jordan Love. They got Christian Watson. They got Romeo Dobbs at receiver. I think that's it.
So I kind of like the Packers as a team in general. Not that I like them to be Super Bowl contenders, but I just like them to
They got a good
Over-
roster overall, right?
I do think that's probably no shot. I don't think he'd want to play with Jordan Love. I don't know if he'd want to play in the cold. Yeah.
That's a good point too about the cold.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
if I was playing, I'd rather go somewhere like Miami and play in the heat.
Yeah, and he's only played in Carolina area, Houston, and Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I could get behind no shot unless we're gonna say that maybe they're gonna pay him. I don't know how much money they got, but they could use another receiver. I feel like if they want him and they want to pay him, there's a chance. I would say they got the same chances as the Titans have, honestly.
I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine, honestly. Yeah.
All right, sounds good then. Okay,
So I like
what
the
about
Titans better for that record because I think Tannehill's semi-established.
They have more of more of an established quarterback. I can get behind that too.
Now, is Tannehill winning a Super Bowl? No, but I do think he's still a starter in this league. He's kind of hanging on the edge, but he's okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the Chargers?
That's actually kind of complicated.
Yeah, because their top two receivers are constantly hurt.
Well, that's true, and also wasn't one of them rumored to be cut or something like that? I kind of lose track of who.
Yeah, they said Keenan Allen was likely to be cut at one point, and then the GM was like, no, we're not cutting this guy. So I don't know. I think he's safe. I think they're keeping their trio intact if they can.
Yeah.
Like Keenan Allen's, Mike Williams, and now Quentin Johnston. They're set at receiver theoretically.
Oh, they do
if they can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I see. But pretty unlikely.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
If he wants to go there, though, maybe. Is Justin Herbert. I could see him wanting to play with him.
Yeah, Los Angeles. I feel like you would want to do that.
I mean, it's a pretty attractive spot.
But, Brandon Staley is coaching you, then.
I mean, I wouldn't love that, but he worked with Bill O'Brien. He can work with anyone. He wasn't a bad coach. He was just a bad GM.
Bill O'Brien drafted him. He didn't have a choice. He played.
Right.
No, Bill O'Brien didn't draft him. Gary Kubiak and that crew drafted him in his rookie year.
He still had to play for the coach, though.
That's also true. He did sign an extension with us, though, so I guess he kind of did have a choice.
Yeah, he wanted the money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, I don't really have a strong opinion on the Chargers. You could put them wherever, and I'd be fine with it.
And we can just keep him in unlikely.
That seems fine. Perfectly reasonable.
Let's stay in LA and go over to the Rams. What do we think about them? Probably unlikely to no shot, right?
Super Bowl 2 years ago, they are more fresh off of Lombardi than a lot of other teams.
True. And they got a really good quarterback. Oh, and Matthew Stafford too.
That's true, and he could pair up with Cooper Kupp.
That would be a pretty dynamic duo.
Got a brilliant offensive wonderkind and Sean McVay.
I mean, from that perspective, it sounds good.
See, a year ago, this would have made some sense, in my opinion.
Absolutely. But now that we know the offensive line is falling apart, now that we know Stafford is hurt,
that. Their top core players are just going to be hurt or just get hurt, and we just assume
aging.
that they're getting stuck. Yeah, so but if you don't,
they also probably don't have a ton of money to commit either. I'm guessing.
And I think they finally do have a first round pick, so they could just tank.
They're trading that away. We all know it.
Are they? Okay.
No, I'm for the memes.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So no shot or unlikely?
I'd put them in no shot. I'd be very surprised if it happens.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That would be shocking.
And can they? And you can make the would they pay him argument. Could they pay him? I don't even know if they have the cap space.
I would be surprised if they had enough to pay him what he wants.
Stafford, Donald, Kupp.
Exactly.
They're probably paying some for Jalen Ramsey. I don't know the financials with that.
I think they are paying most of Jalen Ramsey's contract, but anyway, they need to stop paying people and just kind of tear it up unless they seriously think they're going to contend this season. So I would say no shot.
Right.
Let's stay in the NFC and talk about the Eagles for a moment. As we know, we heard a lot of chatter about them drafting a receiver for some reason in the first round. Because they got Devontae Smith and they got A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert at tight end for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I could see him wanting to go there for sure. If they can pay him too, I think they have enough to pay him. Do they want him?
Again, yeah, I mean that makes sense. Again, I'm not sure. I imagine it's probably kind of about the same, like as far as like the cold goes with like Philly to like Green Bay. I'm like, I guess we never really thought about that with like other teams, like the Bills, for instance. Like, I don't know if
Right.
Hopkins just want to go some cold weather team, honestly, now that I think about it. If
Yeah,
he has
but
the
if they
option to go,
pay him and he wants to win a ring, Philadelphia might be the best option.
I would not argue with that, honestly. If they pay him, yeah, I just don't know how likely it is that both scenarios happen that
Right.
he that's his first choice and they pay him the most amount of money. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
could
don't
get
I don't think it's
maybe.
particularly likely. I would give this one a maybe.
I could get around like a strong maybe.
Yeah, this is just a maybe. I don't think there's like any any strong argument to say they are a front runner or that they are unlikely, you know? Like you could argue both sides, I think.
Right.
All right. We got peeps in chat now. Should we interact or should we ignore?
Um, we can interact. I mean,
Oh, good. You chose right. You chose right.
exactly. I was just
All right.
telling
Hey,
him that
Devin. What's up, dude?
I was telling Devin that like Brady's coming back to Tampa and Hopkins with him. So
No, no, don't. No, no. Brady is not coming back, okay? Sources confirm that he is staying retired. Tom Brady is the source, by the way. He said it himself.
well,
I believe
okay.
it.
I mean, I do too, but it's
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
be
That's not a great argument
it's gonna
considering
be
he
like
unretired last time.
it's gonna be like 2 weeks before week one. He's like, I'm back.
Starting week 1 for the Raiders.
Exactly. No, what he's gonna do is like the Patriots are gonna be like fighting for their lives in the last like week of the regular season. Then Tom Brady will just come trotting back, and then
No.
okay.
No.
All
Don't.
right. So
Why are you saying these mean things?
who's the next team we're talking about?
Funny enough, it is the Raiders.
Um, I
The
wouldn't
quarterback
say
situation is too
I
big
wouldn't
of a
say
question mark.
I wouldn't say no shot, but very unlikely.
Well, first you need Jimmy G to pass his physical, and then you need the
Yeah.
Raiders to decide they need a new receiver, which they don't. They got Devontae, they got Jacoby Myers, and they still have Hunter Renfro. Don't
Okay.
see why they would want Hopkins. I mean, maybe, I guess.
So, are you just trying to argue for no shot instead of unlikely?
I, I'm I'm not sure. I'm not
I mean,
sure. They
I
got a shot. They got a shot if Jimmy passes
yeah.
his physical and they decide they need a new receiver.
Yeah, I feel like if Jimmy passes his physical, then they probably think they can be competitive with Jimmy. Like, will they win games? Probably not a lot, but in theory, they should be competitive.
In theory, probably another 7-win season though. So okay, we can give this one unlikely. Would we say?
That's fine with me.
All right, we can roll with that. Um, let's move
All
over
right.
to while we're at it. Let's go to New England. What about the Patriots?
Um, the reuniting of Hopkins and Bill O'Brien, very fun.
There's no way he wants to reunite with Bill O'Brien. No way.
Yeah, why? And New England's cold. Like, why would he do that? Like,
He doesn't want to play with Mac Jones, right? No. He'd be
no.
number 1 there, so maybe that's a reason, but he's not realistically contending for a Super Bowl there.
Yeah, I mean, if
If
you
they
want to put him in like, I probably wouldn't do no shot, but if you want to do that, that's fine. But
No,
honestly,
I would say unlikely. I'd say
I'd
unlikely
say unlikely too. Yeah,
cuz they might have money. They might pay him. He might want to
yeah,
be the
like
number 1
something could happen,
receiver.
or like he could have some like motive or something like that. But yeah,
Right. Right.
I see it as unlikely too.
Okay, how about the New Orleans Saints? Choose wisely here. No shot, right?
I could see it.
You're taking too long.
I could see it. Now, do I think it's likely? No, but if
Okay,
you
good.
think that Derek Carr is legit,
I mean, they got Chris Olave and they got Michael Thomas, who's going to be injured by week 2 for the
Yeah,
most minor thing possible.
he's gonna like injure his earlobe, then be out for 2 seasons.
Exactly. And Alvin Kamara is there right now. I still think he's going to miss time, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just like.
Okay, also the money. The money is also a thing.
Okay.
There's no
the
way.
Money is the thing. It's like, oh, if they pay him, but now the money is suddenly like a factor. Like,
I mean, the money is somewhat of a factor for all of them, honestly.
I don't really have an opinion, honestly. Like, I don't really honestly don't care. Like,
I don't know what my unbiased opinion would be.
why don't we just say unlikely? Like, strong unlikely. Very strong
unlikely. Okay, they're at the very bottom of the unlikely tier. Okay.
Yep.
That's cool with me.
Yep.
Okay. That kind of messed up the layout, actually, because now you can see it. I can't show all the teams properly now. That's funny.
Lovely.
It's very lovely. Here, I can just show like half of the top and then half of the bottom. So
I got you. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, not like they no shot teams are like relevant in this discussion or anything, you know.
I mean, they aren't, but we have to show them just to shame them, you know. We both got divisional rivals there. We got to shame them off.
That's true.
Okay, how about the San Francisco 49ers?
I mean, you know, do they need Hopkins? But also Hopkins may be motivated to play there. Like,
I don't think they need him. But I could see him wanting to go there if he likes the quarterbacks, which I don't think he would.
Unless Hopkins wants to play quarterback, they could probably use him there.
True.
I mean, whatever. I mean, in theory, I would think maybe, but I would also be pretty surprised if it happens. Like, unlikely.
Unlikely. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
So we don't have to debate that one too much. It's unlikely. Possible. Unlikely.
Yeah. All right. Who's next?
All right. The Cincinnati Bengals are next.
Oh, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They are set.
There's no way they want to go after Hopkins, right?
No.
And Joe Burrow was one of the few elite quarterbacks that he did not name when he was talking about which quarterbacks he would want to play with.
Wow, that's interesting. He didn't name Joe Burrow.
He didn't, no.
Who did
he
name?
He named like all the other elite quarterbacks. You know, Mahomes. You got
Mahomes,
Allen,
Hurts. I think he named.
Yeah,
Herbert.
Hurts was named. Herbert. Yeah. So all the people you'd expect.
Watson, which I thought was funny because he played with Watson.
I mean, just for the publicity, you can't name Watson. You're gonna get hated on for that.
Well, he could. Well, then with that, then like if he goes to Cleveland, it's gonna be the same type of thing. But
okay, I mean, at that point, you're getting money. So
okay. You can name Watson as like a good quarterback. You don't have to name him as some moral, outstanding citizen. Like,
well, you know how the world is today. Even if you say he's a good quarterback, you have to go, what did you say something nice about that person?
What do you really care?
It depends on who you're interacting with, I guess. Well, I've interacted with some crazy people. Okay,
being canceled. Like, I don't think he does at this point.
I mean, probably not. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay,
where are we putting the Bengals?
Unlikely.
Okay, unlikely.
I feel like there is a universe where that could happen. Like they just get super. Maybe like some receiver gets an injury and like
maybe they trade T. Higgins to Carolina because they need to trade somebody soon. Yeah. Sounds good. Let's go with the Steelers now.
Ooh.
That could be intriguing if he likes Kenny Pickett.
I like that fit, kind of.
It feels right, doesn't it? In a way. Okay, but they got Deontay Johnson and they got George Pickens.
They got Pickens, yeah. So it's not like they have an amazing because he would be their clear number one, right?
As of now, yeah, I would say he'd be the number one, but also like If
Also
you,
what?
I would also say George Pickens is going to take that spot next season anyway, or within the next couple of
You think next
seasons.
year George Pickens is going to be better than DeAndre Hopkins?
Depends on. Okay, I mean, I'm a big enough believer in Hopkins still to say that he's going to be like 1,300 yards, stuff like that. So I would say Hopkins is going to be better, but I'm just saying I really like George Pickens is what
See, I
I'm
think
trying
the
to
other
say.
thing is sometimes, a lot of times we go for potential, but,
Yeah,
it's 2023. Like, like potentially, like, but I don't know
right.
where I was with that, but
I mean, that would make a
I could
really
see it.
nice trio in Pittsburgh, and it would help Kenny Pickett a lot. The question for me is, do
Yeah.
they have the money?
Let's see. Steelers cap space. Um, they have 15 mil, 15 and a half mil. So they could probably work it.
Okay, yeah, no, that's decent. That's decent. They could afford him if they want to pay him.
Yeah, they could work around it.
Do they want to though?
And does Hopkins want to go to Pittsburgh?
I mean,
I'm
I don't
thinking
know.
you can tell me what you think. I'm thinking like a light maybe.
Yeah, that's kind
It's
of.
better than unlikely.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily unlikely because like you could totally see that happening. It wouldn't be a surprise, you know.
Yeah.
You could totally see the appeal in wanting to play for the Steelers. And the only question mark is Kenny Pickett. That's like the only thing people criticize about this team.
Yeah. That's true.
So okay, yeah, I'm thinking we just put him in maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's great for me.
Sounds good. Okay, Carolina and Houston are the only teams left, so we did this perfectly. Our teams are the last remaining teams.
Yep. Um okay, who are we dissecting first?
I was gonna let you decide that.
We can do Houston first, since maybe Carolina will be more of a debate. As much as
Okay.
I'd love to troll about Hopkins coming back to Houston, it's just not happening. Like, he wouldn't want to go back, and even if he did, like, I don't think we need to be investing like resources because, like, if Hopkins is coming here, we're paying him a lot of money, and we need to distribute that money to like our defense, our line, like a lot of other places. So, like,
Hmm.
unless he wants to take some like hometown discount, then like I just see that as
Right.
pretty, or
So
no
just
shot, no
no
shot.
shot. Well, there's also the
Yeah,
fact that you don't have like a proven number one receiver, you know. So I would say there's at least some form of a shot just because of that. I don't know why
um,
Hopkins would necessarily want to go back to Houston though.
see, like, is there any shot that he would want to go to Houston? Like,
I mean,
I mean, if
maybe he
we're gonna
just
give
wants
it
to go
50
home.
mil a year, then probably, but we're just not gonna. It's just not realistic.
Yeah, I mean
I mean,
that's
I just see it as the
I
same.
agree with that. I agree with
I see
that.
the same situation as like the Colts. Like, I just, even if it seemed like he could be a wide receiver one, like he could be a wide receiver one in like the USFL. Like, he's not going there.
I mean, if he wants to be a wide receiver one, just go to the Chiefs. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, let's put him in no shot.
Yeah, no shots,
Sorry.
fine.
All right, now Carolina, we are front runners, right?
Uh, Give us your thesis, your dissertation as to
Okay, okay.
why. Defend your thesis as to
I don't
why
think I really
Hopkins.
can rationally defend it. Like we have a crowded receiver room of a bunch of guys who are just kind of mid. We don't have a clear number
I
one, so
mean,
Hopkins can come over and take over.
yeah,
So that would be cool. We have enough money to afford him. We're gonna have the most money heading into next off season as of now we're projected to. I think we have the
yeah,
second most currently. So we can afford
right.
him. We don't have a number one receiver. We're in the NFC and the NFC South at that, so we could be a free playoff spot if he wants to come here. I mean, what's not to like, right? You play with Bryce Young. He's a great quarterback.
Exactly.
We got a
Um,
great defense. We don't have a lot of holes on the roster anymore. I mean, come
See,
on over to Carolina.
if he didn't say he was done playing with rookies, then I would actually kind of like
Oh,
it.
but Bryce isn't any ordinary rookie. He's basically like a 10-year veteran already.
Or Andy Dalton, QB1.
Oh yeah, Andy Dalton is so good. Like Honestly, who wouldn't want to play with him?
He's gonna be the franchise savior. Just watch.
Totally, totally. I have no doubt. Okay, but
Yes.
realistically, I think it's very unlikely we sign him. Like, all jokes
Yeah.
aside,
It's probably
he's
pretty solid, unlikely. Yeah, you probably.
we're not signing DeAndre Hopkins, even though I would totally welcome it. I'm not even like rooting for it to happen, to be honest. Like I like our current receiver room. I don't want to mess up anything we got right now. I don't want to pay Hopkins, but like I would welcome it. I could totally potentially see it happening just because of he's from the area, from the Carolinas, and we can pay him. But no, it's not happening.
Awesome.
Yeah, that hurt me to have to be honest and objective about my own team. I'm not used
You're
to
honest.
this.
You're not completely biased. Okay, so just for funsies, we have that laid out. I do have the odds up here according to DraftKings for Hopkins landing spots. Do you want me to list them and just have you react just for fun?
Go for it.
Okay, do you want me to go from like last to first or first to last? Or I feel like last to first would be it.
Yeah, make it more dramatic. Let's go last to first.
Okay. So with the last odds are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Good.
Second to last, this actually is going to surprise us. The Steelers.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually? Second last?
They have the same odds as the Bucks.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
The Steelers, I know it. I mean, I don't think it'll happen, but it doesn't make sense that it's like second to last. Like,
Right, no, exactly. What are we missing there?
Okay. Commanders are also plus 1,000.
Seems
Hold
fair.
Hold up. Texans are the fifth best odds to.
What?
Wait, am I looking at the right? Yeah,
there's
full odds. Next team, Houston Texans are at fifth at plus 1,000.
Okay, what do they know that we don't know? What?
I mean, the only thing is like the homecoming or come back home or whatever. Because I was looking at that and I was like, wait, where are the Texans? Like, they should be somewhere in like last because like, what?
Wow. No, they're wrong. I'm sorry, they're wrong.
You want to know who's fourth?
No, who is it?
Patriots.
No, I don't understand that. Why do people want that to happen?
Let's go through the teams without any more spoilers. So Commanders are at plus 1,000. Not that we know that what the plus or whatever means, but okay.
Right.
So next is the Colts, then the Raiders, then the Bengals, then the Vikings. Bengals and Vikings being down there makes sense because like they already have stacked receiving rooms.
Yeah, this is mostly following our tier list so far.
Yeah, Packers, Falcons, Niners, Panthers, Rams. Rams have better odds than the Panthers for what it's worth.
That doesn't make much
Seahawks,
sense.
Broncos, Bears, Eagles. So I guess we're about the halfway point here. I haven't necessarily counted, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, I think Eagles have the 16th odds. So this is like we're coming to halfway. Jacksonville, Saints have pretty good odds, apparently. The Giants, the Chargers, the Titans, the Dolphins. I believe that's number 10. Number 9 is the Jets. Number 8 is the Lions. Number 7 is the Ravens. Number 6 is the Cowboys. Number 5 is the Texans. Number 4 is the Patriots. That's Chiefs, Bills, and Browns.
Browns at the top.
Yeah.
And Bills at 2?
Yeah, I just went off the top. Yeah, Bills are at 2.
So top 3 from most likely to least likely. It's Browns, Bills, and Chiefs.
Yes.
That is an interesting order.
Then Patriots, Texans.
Yeah, no, we can forget about those two.
Why are I could see the Patriots sort of. Why are the Texans lumped up there? Like, what? Well,
no, it doesn't make sense.
DeAndre Hopkins Texans. See if there's like anything out there. Um, Houston
People actually
Texans
get paid to do this.
former star DeAndre Hopkins would consider a return. Says who? Did Hopkins himself say that? Um, oh, lovely. I'm not subscribed to the Houston Chronicle, so I guess I can't read that article. I
Oh,
guess
amazing.
we'll never know. Um, Weird. Sports Illustrated says Texans are no on DeAndre Hopkins. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
According to the Houston Chronicle, the free agent receiver is interested in returning with the Houston Texans. Why? Like,
They're just making
I mean,
crap
if you're
up.
going to be here for a 5-year rebuild, you can like be here for like 5 years. I would kind of get it, but we're not going to win anytime soon.
Yeah, no, they're just talking. There's no way they actually are saying that with any reason.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
unless your whole argument is just he's coming home to Houston. That isn't that like the only argument we have?
Yeah, I guess. Like, I mean, you could all maybe he's not playing with rookies, and let CJ Stroud's a rookie. Like,
Right.
I mean, if you really like D'Amico Ryans, like maybe Hopkins and Ryans have some connection. Like they're both former players. Like, well, I don't know.
I
like,
don't see that happening. Nope.
Plus, I guess, but
No. He's more
he
likely
would
to be a
be
Patriot than a
Super
Texan.
One, that's for sure. He'd get all the catches, but we'd also
Better
go
places to go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Our list is better than that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, true. No, that DraftKings thing is like garbage.
Absolute garbage. But maybe you can go make a bet there. No, I'm not going to encourage betting. Never mind. But I was going to say that you could probably get a good deal there.
Probably.
I think I heard you say Dallas at 9. Like, that's kind of low. Or maybe it was someone else at 9.
There were some like, oh, and I closed that tab. Lovely. But there were some that seemed like
Steelers at the very bottom. I'm still kind of confused by. Like, why?
Yeah,
I don't think that happens, but it's still like it's kind of crazy.
Thought the Bears would be a good deal. I think they're at like 16 or 17 or something like that. But
that sounds about right.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to do Q&A or do you just want to call it a day?
Honestly, well, before we do anything else, we should probably at least predict where we think he's going to go, because we can't end without predicting such a thing.
List was for?
Well, we put 5 teams in front runners.
I guess that's fair. I think I predicted Browns, and that was even before I saw the DraftKings thing.
Okay, you're gonna go with the Browns. I'm sticking with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, no, we can just call it a night. We can save Q&A for another time. It's a long off season, so we'll call it a night. We'll let our one viewer, our loyal super fan, go to sleep.
Exactly. Yeah. As of now, our super fan is more loyal than our other super fan, who apparently
he seemed kind of unhappy with us.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's cool.
All right. Well, that concludes episode 15 of Football for Fun. Thank you so much for watching. And we will see you for the next episode very soon, probably.
Heck yeah. I don't know when the next episode is. We'll have to figure that out maybe sometime next week. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done those things already. Y'all take care.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weekend. Bye. All right. We did good.
Very
good. We survived all the debates.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more fun if we're argumentative, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I hope that's more fun to watch.
Yeah.
It amused the super fan, at least. I don't know about everyone else, though.
Yeah. I guess what I think about with those odds is that I think at some point the favorite to be our next head. I feel like at some point Cliff Kingsbury was the favorite to be our next head coach. So I like don't read much into those things.
Oh wait, we're still live.
Oh, are we? Okay, well, yeah.
I know I said stop streaming. What the heck? Hold up. Okay, that's so funny. Yeah, we are legitimately still alive. Oh, you know what? I think I had it stop recording.
Ah,
It's recording and streaming at the same time because we had that mishap earlier at the start, so it had us recording.
I see.
And then we got the stream started, so it was doing both. And I guess I clicked stop recording. Wow,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of issues. Okay, goodbye for real this time.
Bye.
Goodbye.